This is a journey that keeps on changing for people as you move deeper. And there is a deepening of this that happens over time. So for most people, there's this enlightenment experience or a peak experience that people have, where they come into this place of incredible energy, spaciousness. Mind thinking completely stops. You become hugely and hyperly aware, very alive. And then in this experience, people, they believe they got it, they're there. And this can last for minutes, hours, days, weeks. Even for some people, it can last for years. It's rare, but this too happens. And then, when life's ready, it takes you somewhere else. So many people then have this story of, I had it, and then I lost it. I even know people who are with Papaji. I don't know if people have you've heard of Papaji, but Papaji was a student of Ramana Maharshi. And people had so many experiences with this man. He has such a powerful presence. So people would go into these enlightenment experiences and come out. And they say, I had it, and then I lost it. Or I had it, I became a satsang teacher for a while, and then when I lost it, I stopped. And I know some of these people personally. And I was talking to one of my friends, and I said to him, well, you had it for weeks. You were a satsang teacher. And now you say you lost it. And so I asked him, well, is there something now in this moment that is the same when you had it? Do you notice that there is something now that is the same as then? And he just looked at me, he said, Saeed, no, I had it and I just lost it and here I am and this is it, and it's been like this for decades now. And I felt that there was no room or movement for exploration for him. So I just kept quiet. I said, okay, that's how it is for you, and you're comfortable with that, and there's nothing else to be done here. But people get so stuck on this. And it's almost like even having this incredible experience of grace can get in the way. Because all of a sudden, after this experience, the personality comes and is making this big demand of life that I have to have this again, either like this way or even better. And I won't accept anything else.
Yeah.
It's like the personality has come and sabotaged you for life. And you're letting it happen. But this happens with people because they're still in a love affair with their personality. They still are letting the personality call all the shots, make all the decisions, say how it's supposed to be, rather than taking time to observe the personality, the nature of the personality, and how the personality moves you through life. And noticing that there's another place you can be living from. It's not that we have to make the personality an enemy. The personality is here, in varying capacities, in varying degrees, in the moment.
Can you define personality as you believe personality is? Because it's a very wide term which has a lot of meaning.
Yes.
So what do you define as personality?
This is where it gets tricky. Whenever you try to define something, you're creating a concept about it, and then at any moment someone can say, oh, it's not that. So when I talk about a personality, I talk about it in a very gentle, general way, that it's a bundle of likes, dislikes, opinions, habit patterns, socializations, even things that are genetically inbred in us from birth, certain qualities that we have. So it's this bundle of things that are socialized and also genetic. All the ways we're self-identified, all the stories, all the habit patterns, that this is what keeps us from this from something that is naturally who and what we are. I don't know if this helps you, because this is very broad.
Yeah.
Basically, anything that's not this stillness, this emptiness, this unchanging quality, is the domain of the personality, the movements, and the acting out from these movements. We're innocent in this way. This is how we're socialized. This is what we've been with our whole life. This is how our decisions have been made. This is where we've been living from. But as soon as something in you becomes aware of this other place, then you start to have a choice. And then you can start to be more aware and mindful of the personality, the habit patterns, how it gets you in trouble, how you suffer, how it might be disharmonious, whatever. And in a practical way, start moving in all the things that are getting you in trouble in the direction of something that is simpler and more clear and silent and still. It takes some mindfulness, a little bit of effort, and it's worth it, because you start learning more about yourself and how you work. This introspection can be helpful. And when you see both happening and unfolding, and you become anchored in the stillness, then there's no longer a sense of I had it and then I don't have it. You're always anchored there. This is your foundation. And with time, more and more of you starts being aware that you're always there. Sometimes even in your madness, you know you're there, because there's a sense of resting in there, even in the madness. Because energy is coming up so hard and fast and taking you, but both are known at the same time. So what has taken you, this energy, and put you in motion and even gotten you very angry, just as soon as it comes up and gets expressed, it can just as easily go and be completely wiped out with no trace. It doesn't have to linger with the story, or even with residue of emotions. And that's how life becomes as you become more anchored. But all in good time. And being in such environments can be very helpful. Seeking friends of consciousness who are also interested in this can be helpful. Because then you start supporting one another. And this becomes more important, something that is shared. Something that is reinforced by others rather than other things being reinforced that are not so helpful. So it says, you are the company you keep. So if you wish, why not keep a company of consciousness? People who are interested in this, people who really value this. People who are in the hearts. People who are patient, understanding.
I'm struggling a bit. You mentioned this yesterday.
Yes.
I feel it very selective.
Selective.
Very selective, your language there. I just feel it very selective, like I'm only to be with people who are in their heart and consciousness. I mean, there's 7.7 billion of us here.
Yes.
I really don't want to gather just under a tent and call it the consciousness tent and be there with those people. I don't know if you're saying that, but it just bothers something inside me when you say this.
You know what? You're right. These people are very hard to find. Almost impossible.
It's not. I don't want to
I'm
find
kidding.
them all.
No,
I'm actually telling you, I don't want to.
I'm making a joke here.
Okay,
I'm making a joke. Making a joke. I'm not saying that this is exclusively how we're here to be. I'm just giving it to an as an option because for some reason many of us don't even think about this possibility. So I'm just offering it as a possibility to be considered. We're not here to live an elitist life of excluding people. This is clearly not what it's about. We're here as life to be with all people. But we also have a choice. And there are times it is noticed that you being in the company of somebody, they're not getting anything from it, and you're not getting anything from it. Nothing is really happening other than a blah, blah, blah. There's no connecting. There's no real communication. It's just two people together. And often people find themselves in this situation where there is nothing happening. It's just two habit patterns together engaging because there's nothing else better to do. One can keep on doing that, but it's not necessary. You have a choice. And as you become more aware of this, you may choose something else. Myself, anyone who comes to me, I'm here. I would never send anyone away. Why should I? That's not how I respond. Someone comes to me, boom, I'm present. I'm going to be with them. Nothing in me wants to respond in any other way. But after 5 or 10 minutes, if anything that I'm sharing or any way I'm being with them is not being received, is not being considered, that they're not benefiting on any way, that they're not even there, then I might think, oh, well, what's the point? Do I have to keep on doing this? Do I have to just listen to this person for another 10, 20 minutes? Talk about nothing. That they're not even receiving me on an energetic level or anything. Nothing's happening. I might excuse myself and say, oh, I'm sorry, I now have to go do something, and off I go. And I make that choice. I make that call.
So how, I don't quite understand, when you say you don't connect, or you connect, is that through conversation? Or how do you find what you're looking for in a person?
Well, first of all, I connect like this, like we are now. I'm present. I'm aware of the person in front of me. And I'm aware of their presence. And I'm aware of the level of their presence with me.